Oh my gosh, what is this? I haven't done this in a little while. A lot of things been happening. A lot of things. This is different. That's okay. Keep saying I'm going to do stuff, and I don't do stuff. And then I saw something today. I saw something just now. Not even that long ago. I have opinions. And I can't keep them to myself. It's a problem. We all have it. You'll forgive me eventually. I like Adam Neely a lot. I've liked Adam Neely for a long time. Love Sungazer. Got into Shub Saran and all that stuff. Just put out a video a little bit ago. I'm going to piggyback about this ludicrous song that broke his brain. And like, I get it. Like, Adam Neely has so much musical experience, plays instruments, degrees, knowledge, all this stuff. Vocabulary is greater than my own. Know that. Vocabulary greater than most of us that listen to music casually. You play bass. Dude, you play bass. You're in the rhythm section. And the very first thing that he says he tries to do or attempts to do is to reorient himself to where the downbeat should be, where the downbeat is, where one is, to rock back and forth. And what is so jarring to me about all the times that he's playing all this music is he tries to rock back and forth, and it's very jarring, and I'll forgive you for that. But as you're improvising over the music and playing it over two different ways, I played drums. I played drums. That's what I did or do. I have to, movement is essential to feeling rhythm and beat. And, I think even for non-musicians and dance, movement is essential to, feeling where that is. And what is so jarring is, he's not rocking back and forth at all. There's no feeling of where beat is. And I'm not sure, he didn't say in the video if that was intentional or not, to try to isolate part of himself to just say, I'm going to intellectualize where these beats are so that I can perform what I intend to. But I try to wrap my head around it the opposite way. And it doesn't, I get the salsa vibe. I'm all there, but I can't do it. I just can't. It's not in me. Maybe if I went through it the way he did, stepwise, piecewise, maybe I would come to that sort of a feeling. But there's so much else in the video there that it's really cool that he showcased. When he takes the wheels on the bus and overlays it on Roll Out. The intention is to show where the snare on 2 would be, or where that major, I think it was a snare on 2 type thing. But what was unintentionally created at that point was a 3/2 rhythm, because you had wheels on the bus that is at a different pacing and a different time signature than Roll Out. So it was showcased the way it was intended the first time, and then as it continued to play, it kept moving around. And that is the holy grail for a drummer. Moving the beat around, moving the snare around, or moving where the downbeat is. And I think from his perspective as a bass musician and a composer and things, he showcased those videos of yes, drummers are the worst. Moving all the beats around and playing Back in Black with that 16th note bass instead of an 8th note bass. Dun, 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 and 2 and 1 and 2 and. So when he moves that snare, the way to feel it, or the way to essentialize what's going on, is to frame everything at the 16th note to the bass, or to feel where all the syncopation things are. So that bump, ba-da-da, ba-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da-da, ba-da-da, ba-da-da. It's there. And I think that's part of how drummers maybe understand rhythm, or how that works for us. So that was really cool that was showcased too. But that Man, I'm having such a hard time wrapping my head around that, and I have to just tell everybody. Sorry about it. But on the side of it that's so interesting to me is, like I said, the Holy Grail. When I have talked to other drummers, like in the drum corps world and whatnot, like what makes us giggle is like when we can move the beat around. There's a fantastic video from years ago. I think it's Harry Chapin that's playing, and like the whole base of it is like, friends don't let friends clap on 1 and 3, right? When you're clapping to a song, like your foot stomp is on 1 and 3, and your clap's on 2 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like that. That's what you get. There's a live performance of Harry Chapin playing, and he's playing the piano, and like the clip starts and the crowd is kind of oscillating between the 1-3 crowd and the 2-4 crowd. As he gets further into what's going to be like the piano break, the 1-3 crowd is winning. And you can see some clips, like you see different shots around, and the band's not like panicking, because you don't. Like you've been here before. That's not going to distract you. But Harry's doing a showman thing, and it's in the videos I've seen, it's been transcribed underneath that in this song based in 4, he throws in a bar of 5/4 in his solo. So for like the layman, he added an extra beat, so that instead of the audience clapping on 1 and 3, when he went back to his melody and his solo and things, he gave the audience an extra beat, so they ended up on 2 and 4, where they should have been. And there's a specific shot that they show going to the drummer, and the drummer is howling because he gets it. He knows what happened, right? But what's so special about that is it's not the drummer that's flipping the beat around. The drummer is just kind of stuck, right? He's driving this performance along, and while it's very possible he could add that extra beat and flip it around, you can't like hide it. It's very difficult to hide it because of the frequencies and everything you're playing, you know. And then you've got to communicate that to the rest of the band. So Harry takes it upon himself and throws that extra beat in there, and the rest of the band is on it because, again, they're along for the ride. In the middle of this solo or this piano break, the focus is on what the piano is playing. So he just like tosses it in there, and like, oh, there it is. But generally, like that is for me, when I think of improvisation or when I think about things that are interesting about music, is I still, as a drummer, I'm like attached to the grid. I'm attached to the space between 1 and 1 and how many times you can divide it in between. I can't do anything beyond that. I can't tie notes together unless I'm playing a roll, but even if I'm playing a roll, it's being subdivided into the strokes that I'm playing with my hands or with your feet or things, you know, whatever you're doing. So that, and I can think of a lot of examples. Here's a really cool one that the very niche group of people are going to know, but there is a band from Cincinnati called Y. That's Y with a question mark, WHY. They have a song from a long time ago. Actually, no, I won't even pick that one because that one's good, but I'll pick this one. They did a collaboration on a track called Well Water Black. And it's a little dance hall vibey for them because they're more of an indie, alternative indie rock type band. But the original, when Yoni Wolf, who's the lead singer or lead vocalist, pardon me, when Yoni Wolf has his verse, like the snare is on 1 and 3, or it's a very choppy position because this bridge is moving the song along. It needs to have some momentum, so you can't lay it back in the pocket as far as like a 2 and 4 and feeling a rock to everything. Like you need to get some urgency and you need to feel the eighth note as it comes through. So in the original, I like to think I take dictation from something big and evasive. Like you get this very choppy feel from both his vocal performance and where the backbeat is. There is a remix of it And God, at this, I'm doing this for the moment, so I don't know, or I can't remember who does the remix. I think it's not Boards of Canada. Something. It's not Friday. Look it up. It's worth the time. Look it up. But they shift the backbeat and they put it in halftime, and it feels so good. But it's also, it's not how it was intended based on the vocal performance. So you go from that very choppy eighth note to, I'd like to think I take dictation from something big and evasive that I've yet to see the face of. And it has this very laid back feeling because there's so much more space in that song. So go look that up. That's worth your time. Two things that come present to mind right now. Adam tried to talk or say the beats while playing the melody so he could feel where that is. And the thought behind that is like you're saying so in tune to like, I need to say 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 while playing. It seemed like for him that wasn't a major thing, and that's cool. That's not easy to do. That brings me to what we'll call a fun party trick for drummers, especially like in the drum corps days. We like to do a thing called gridding. And what gridding is you take a rhythm bass and you either move around an accent around the different partials in that rhythmic bass, or you move around a rudiment sometimes. You can do it in like a 4-2-1 pattern where you play the same accent 4 times, and then you move it, and then 4 times, and then you move it, and then when you cycle back, you play it 2 times, and 2 times, and 2 times, and then you play it just one accent. The next bar you move it, the next bar you move it, and that follows like a 4 times for one pattern, 2 times for the one pattern, and then the one time you play 4 times through. So what the fun party trick is you take a triplet grid and you count the beats over top. And the 4s are generally pretty easy. You can get through the 4s. The third partial sometimes is difficult, but you can get through the 4s okay. The 2s, when you start playing the 2s, when you cycle back to where you should feel the downbeat at, you're not playing and talking at the same time. You begin to separate like what you're saying and what you're thinking about what you're saying with what you're doing and what you're potentially thinking about what your hands are doing. I'm surmising that at that point, if you're playing triplet grids and whatnot with some proficiency, you're not thinking about the rhythm or thinking about the motions your hands are playing. That you can somewhat put on autopilot. But to show you an example, I haven't done this in I don't know how many years, but to demonstrate the point, because I'm not really a musician to the point of Adam Neely. When you think about it and you're thinking 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4, triplet being triplet, 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 and you'll have to excuse the armchairs. This is just for demonstrative purposes. So when you think about 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3, you end up pulling that apart. What I have, and that was very low effort. The point of that thought being, I don't know how many drummers that's simple to do with. I don't know if that talks to skill level or proficiency or what have you, but in the circles that I was in, that was discouraged, because how often as a drum corps drummer are you actually going to be vocalizing something while you're playing? For Adam, like he does do vocals while he's playing, so that's a more normative thing, and that has a separation, but it's oftentimes closely related. Now you can say rhythm as far as talking and rhythm as far as playing are related, but the actual parts of your head that control those things are not connected at all and are not supposed to be. That's what we came to. So like, again, going back to Adam's video, what is so like jarring for me is the very first attempt is like just trying to feel bum 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 and all the space, and you can't get it. But he seemed to have some more success with trying to speak 1, 2, 3, 4 and play the rhythm. That's like wild to me. My brain doesn't work that way, but obviously his does. And that's fine. Just weird to me. The other thing I wanted to bring up is a very related thing, and I love this exploration of rhythm type thing. There's a cool song by another band called Baths, and I believe it's called Seaside Town, Seaside Village, and it's super cool. Because, like, what time signature is it in? You'll feel it. Like, you get it. I did this fun little trick because we got talking about music at my dad's house. My dad, his wife, my brother, and I. I was sort of just listening to the conversation at the table at the time, and it came to mind that, hey, I'm going to play this Bath song for my father, who played drums, who played set drums and things like that a long time ago. He's now 70 years old. My younger brother, who played drums and set drums and things, and then myself, who did like drum corps and whatnot. My dad's wife does not have any musical background at all. She's just a Grateful Dead fan. So I would think that, you know, as a casual enjoyer of music, you've got a good feeling for rhythm. So I just like, hey, I'm gonna play this song, and when it starts, everyone either just like tap on the table or give a snap, like some indication of where you think the beat is. And the most beautiful thing happened in the world. Nobody tapped the table at the same time. Perfect. Couldn't have asked for better. So I am going to I'm going to try to do this now. I'm not sure how well it's going to sound through TV speakers to I've made a mess to phone, but we're just going to try it. And then what has like brought me to this is really it's Rory. Many times ago, many years ago, there was a mixtape he did called Milo Takes Baths. I think it was like taken down, sued. Baths didn't like it. I don't. Who knows? I might get sued next. But what is so cool about it is, I'll show you later. Try to get the vibe. And that's a cool place to stop that, because you have like a little bridge there, and there's bass that you can kind of feel along with. So I unfortunately kind of gave it away because I just can't help but bob my head. But so many interesting things in that, because there's so much space, just with the synth pad playing its tones and whatnot, and you get a little added melody and some more ambient sound after the break in the song. So is it in 6? Is it in 4? Is it in 3? What is it in 12? What is so jarring about it is you can hear the hi-hat in the background that is just pounding to a straight eighth note. No swing, no triplet. It is just a straight eighth note the entire time. And that's even set apart from the drum rhythm that's playing that doom 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 cat doom 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 doom. So that hi-hat's even apart from that. You could layer it on top, but it's drawing your listening perception in two different places. Amazing. But to that point, right, that whole 6 thing, if you sit and tap your foot to it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's like what I generally feel, and 6 doesn't feel bad to me because I'm just used to 6. But I think a casual listener hears that and just mind melts out of the ears. So you have that going on. Then you have the straight eighth note too. That how would you even frame that without listening to it again? Okay, nothing wrong with that. Maybe I'll just like throw a finger up and you can count along.
It's just the kind of place I've always imagined.
There's that hi-hat. One and two and three and four and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... It's probably not it, but it's there. So you feel that in a couple of different ways, right? You have you have that 4 rhythm that's really kind of counted to like what, a dotted quarter note, something like that. And then you have that 6 thing. So normally, here's the fun thing about it, right? And talk about, you know, drummers hiding a beat or drummers trying to move the beat around, move the 1 around. If you normally count to 4, you get that extra bass hangover. And if you were to like look and see what's filled in there for rhythm, you get to 4 and it's just dotted quarter, dotted quarter, dotted quarter, dotted quarter to fill up all that space, right? Because you've got 2 extra beats in there. How are you going to make that feel natural, feel like it belongs? And rather than extend a rhythm, rather than extend a melody or what have you, there's already long notes going on in there. So it's sort of like someone has a pad, a 404 or something, and just decides to hit like the stall button or the pause button or the repeat button on that little sample cycle. Almost like drum and bass, how drum and bass started, right? With the amen rhythm and all that, or the amen break. So that's just a fun way to hide some extra beats in there. And it feels very natural. It feels like it's in the space. Cool. Super cool. And that's fantastic. So again, at the table, I replayed that from the beginning and went, okay, well, here's where 6 is. Here's where 4 is. So which one do you feel? Which one do you get? And like Dad's wife got 6. Dad got 6. My brother got 4. All right. All correct. 4 is probably not how it's written because, again, when you think about theory and everything, if this were to be written into sheet music, how do you give that to somebody and give them the ease of interpreting it the way you want it to be listened to or heard or performed, you know, however you define that. You probably put it in 6, I would think. That's sort of where the statement repeats. I think if you put it in 4, you have too many musical statements that don't line up to the grid. So that's like a cool way of reframing the ludicrous question for me. There's stuff like this all over the place, out there, everywhere. It's awesome. Which, by the way, the few vocal clips that you heard in there name the Studio Ghibli movie. Super cool. Another reason why this song is really cool for me. But that idea of perception and moving a beat around and what do you feel? Man, I love that. I love all about that. That gives the composer, creator, performer that space to interpret, to embellish, to perform. Yeah, cool. So, is this still up? 6. So let's do this. And forgive me for like playing this. It's really cool. I don't know off the top of my head if there's any curse words in here, so sorry. But listen to the interpretation that the vocalist is putting over these two rhythmic ideas, adding a third rhythmic idea. I think it's cool.
Happiness is probably happenstance. The magical rap Negro, call me Bagger Vance, armed with a shield of humility in a braggart's land. Used to pride myself in never using cheat codes or tips. This rap business is like Sterner's Union of Egoists. I'm taking long walks in hot sand just to cry. Threatened a man's life and felt justified. It becomes a problem when you think that's glory. I've looked demons in the eye and introduced myself as Rory. My brothers, a warped schooner in a sea of uninspired half-wits who morphed us like Lunar into a Kaji bull mastiff.
He doesn't have to respect the rules. Love it, right? The statements go bar to bar, 1 to 1, whether you count it in 4 or 6. And there's no respect. There's no what's what I'm looking for. There is no acknowledgement. There's no acknowledgement of what's going on between 1 and 1. Awesome. Super cool stuff. Check out Seaside Town Village, whatever was up there by Baths. Very cool song. Check out the Mumblings of Mr. Wave. This obviously because of like the stuff around Milo Takes Baths. Tough to go find it. I think it's good. Cool stuff. Yeah, I had to. Got an opinion, can't keep to myself, put it on the internet. Other than that, I would love to be doing this more often. I have the time now. I have a new job. It's really good. I like it a lot. I'm able to get nice things, like a desk. The next investment will hopefully be a laptop, and then this can be made a whole lot more seamless. I still don't want to do editing. I don't care about that. I'm sorry. It just gets done and then it goes on to YouTube. But having a good system to do that with will certainly be helpful. So that is what I've been putting off for, because I know it's in the near future. Other than that, I still have a lot of stuff to talk about. The most important things on my mind right now are one of my favorite artists is going to play their last show under the previous stage name. If you go look for Peaceful Devon, or I think the handle is still .dev on Twitter, you can find information about that show. They deserve lots of people to show up. They're an awesome person. They make awesome music. This is Pink Navel, who made How to Capture Playful, that I've been intending to talk about. And I do want to talk about before their next album releases under their new name, because they need to be talked about. It's freaking cool, and they deserve it. So if you are in the Northeast and have the opportunity, the show's on a Thursday. I unfortunately will not be able to get there because of work and flights and distance. But if you're in that area and you hear this, and it's before, I think, the 15th of August, please go and show up. Other things, I know Rory's playing a show. I think it's in Leimert Park, maybe. I saw some little stuff about it. I did not do the full research to tell you about it, but I also wanted to highlight that because another one of my favorite, cherished artists, and still think they're doing cool stuff. So I would like people to support them. What else is out there going on? I don't really know. But we got to the end. We're at the end, and I think I'm done saying stuff. So I don't remember how I was doing this last year, in December 31st, 2024. But the most important things are be kind to other people, love your neighbors, and hopefully there will be another video very soon. Yeah. I've been obsessed with grapefruit juice. It is the best thing in the world.